With Mama Yoga's Wellness, and you are listening to the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance Show. Happy New Year! That laughter that you heard in the background was my granddaughter with her grown ass going to talk about Glorious Day, making fun of the way I say hello. I mean, these kids, right? Anyway, say hello to the people, Lucia.
Hey!
Oh, let's open the show here. We give thanks to our ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand. We give thanks and praise to all the teachers that have kept this information intact. There's nothing new under the sun. We are simply reclaiming, reorganizing, and redistributing the vast knowledge of information that has always been. Well, I have been on a fabulous hiatus. Not really hiatus. I've just been having my hands in so many other things that I have been doing. I got a chance to partner on a live streaming broadcast, the Matthews broadcast, over the last several weeks. They reach about 860,000 people, and I got a chance to get in on being a co-host as well as helping to produce some of those shows. Y'all can check it out on the MatthewsBroadcast.com, as well as launching Mama Yoga's Coaching Online. Whoop, whoop. The goal is to put up an online school where I can teach my brand of fabulousness. Come on now. The brand of yoga and wellness and mindfulness that's on my spirit, that is culturally relevant, as well as, that makes spirituality and, energetic things practical, right? Simple and practical. That's what we need, right? Things to be reasonable in the way we can understand them and use them in our lives, and from a practical standpoint. So that's my gift, and we are working, myself and my team, we're working to get the Mama Yoga's Coaching Online School up. If any of you would like to go and donate to us getting the school up, you could go to Mama Yoga's coachingonline.com, Mama Yoga's with an S, coachingonline.com, and make your donation. That'll automatically subscribe you to the school, and we're going to launch in the next couple of weeks, and you'll get your emails and all of that. So it's very, very exciting, the curriculum that we're putting together, as well as the events that we're going to host for our members of the Mama Yoga's Coaching Online program. To that end, if you're in the New Jersey area, especially Central Jersey, we have a vision board party coming up at Art and Soul in Ewing, where some sisters and I are going to get together and teach how to make an effective business vision board using law of attraction and journaling, and the way that I like to get down, teaching how to use these principles in a very practical way. That's going to be on Friday evening, January 26th. So next Friday, the tickets are only $20, and you can go to theartandsoulstudio.com, theartandsoulstudio.com, if you want to get a ticket and come on out to the vision party, vision board party. And again, that's Friday, January 26th. I think it's at 7 o'clock. Lord, I better double check the time so I could be there. Anyway, I think it's at 7 o'clock, right. So these are some of the things that I have been doing, keeping myself busy, spreading the message of, holistic and whole person prosperity, whole person wellness, and just, mind, body, energy, and balance. So to start the new year off, this session will not be a long session, but we plan to move forward in a very consistent way. But I did just want to share this message with you. Two dynamics occurred to me for this new year. I wanted to share with you to watch out for and rid your life of victims and vampires. Rid your life of victims and vampires. Victims are people who call you up and say, "Girl, let me tell you what they did to me." Or people who say all the time, "Well, this just happens to me, and I don't know why things are always bad for me, and I can't." Anytime somebody is always assailed, always attacked, somebody's always against them, right? That's the victim mentality. And if you hang around with and let people in your space who function from a victim mentality with regularity, sooner or later, they're going to feel victimized by you. Everything is always like, guess what so-and-so did to me? And guess what happened to me on my way so-and-so? Or I just got a new job and I can't stand the people because I know somebody there can't stand me. Really? Knock it off. Right? I mean, really. I'm just exhausted even talking about it. Right? Victims and vampires. You want to avoid these two people in your life. The whole thing about mind, body, energy, and balance is that a person you keep your energetic level high. Or you at the very least, eliminate people, places, things, practices that drain your energy. That suck the life force out of you. You could tell that a person is draining your energy because when they come up to you or you have to deal with them, you already like, what? Oh my God, this person. Or when they leave you, you're like, I'm so tired. God, I feel so tired. The person is draining your energy. Right? And now vampires is not this thing that we see in the movies with the person coming up, grabbing you by your neck and sucking the blood out of your neck, right? Let's earthen this thing and make it as practical as possible. A vampiric energy is an energy that has to live off of someone else's energy in order for their energy to be sustained at a high or at least an optimal level. So an energy vampire, whether they know it or not, is a person who just drains you by their emotionalism, by their actions, by their aggression. A girlfriend of mine went on a dating site and met this guy. And, the guy, had several of the, he had most of the 80% that she was looking for, right? A couple of shows back, we talked about the 80-20 rule, right? People talk about that with regularity. You find somebody, you ain't gonna find nobody with 100% of what it is you're looking for. So you should just find, in your spirit to be happy and, pleased with finding someone who you can have an 80% loving life with, right? So anyway, she met this guy on a dating site, and she was going out with him, and she was saying that every time that they part company, she feels like she needs a nap. She just feels so tired, right? And she didn't really tune into that. It was their engagement. She just thought that they were, having so much activities and running it here and there. That's why she felt so drained. So they invited me and my partner out to dinner with them. And the guy's energy is just off the wall. Like, everything. He's talking a mile a minute and he's moving and fidgeting and, he's emotional and the people didn't bring the right butter and why they ain't bring the butter and I'm sick of this and he cussing. I mean, not little cuss words either, like, F-bombs and, he's just cussing and he's erratic and he's got to get up and and I was like, girl, that's why you tired? That's why you tired. You trying to manage dude and his energy. He don't even realize that he's sucking your energy, that the amount of energy it takes to deal with somebody with that kind of behavior, how that drains you. Victims and vampires. You want to steer clear. If you have a goal and a mission on your heart, it's going to take energy. We can call it, it's going to take hustle. It's going to take you knocking on doors. It's going to take you having a plan. It's going to take you having a vision. It's all of that's energy. And so we don't really have the time, space, and needn't have the patience for people who are stuck in their emotionalism and intent on sharing that as far and wide as they possibly can, including with you, right? So we want to make sure that we avoid these type of people. Now, here's the other thing. In terms of avoiding people, victims and vampires, you want to be pleasant as possible. It's one of my mottos that people know me by, and I often say, one must always be loving towards evil people. Right? You don't want to give them no cause to be, as evil and as nasty as they possibly could be. So you always be loving towards people, but you just keep it moving. You sidestep. There's a wonderful guru, spiritual teacher named Dandapani, right? And he teaches entrepreneurs how to manage their energy. And he talks about avoiding people who are a drain on your time and energy. Like, why do you have to befriend that type of person? You don't have to. Why do you have to spend time and energy at any length around people who are not nourishing to you, who are not empowering to you, affirming for you? You can come across somebody and you leave them and you say, wow, that person, has a lot of heavy weight, a lot of heavy energy. Or you can come across a person's path and be like, yeah, you feel good after you've engaged with them. That's the people you want to be around. Not people that when you leave them, you're like, oh, Lord have mercy, I need a nap. Or, oh my goodness, I feel so tired. Or, oh my goodness, you just feel bad after you leave them. And truth be told, most people don't know that that's how they are functioning. Like, it's not a conscious thing. A person who is consciously seeking to drain your energy is a different kind of being. Right? Now, that's the being that all of the movies, horror movies and shit are made of. Right? But most people are not conscious aware of, that they are magnetically sucking from you. But that don't make them nonetheless still a vampire. They're just an unwitting one. Right? So you want to be kind and loving to people who you mean not to engage. You don't have to be nasty or rude. You can, be, okay, good to see you. You don't have to make any commitments of, when they say, well, call me and get together. You can smile politely and say, okay, take care of yourself and move on about your way. You don't have to make any commitments that they need to come back on to you. I saw on one of these talk shows, what was it, The View, where they were asking a question. The question was, if you're having a gathering or a party, and you didn't invite somebody that's in your circle, and they find out about it, is it rude for them to come anyway? Is it rude for people to come to an event or a gathering that you're having who you did not invite, and how you would handle that? Because people will do that. They just assume, or feel like they should be in a place and they would show up, And several people on the panel said, that they would just, let them in and not make a scene about it. Other people said, they would tell them, you're not invited. Why are you here? And just blow it up like that. Right? So, it's the same kind of thing when you're dealing with people who you really want to sidestep their space because of their energy. Because you don't have time or the patience to be managing their emotional depths. Because that's usually what it is. A person is usually so emotional, either heavy or erratic or unreasonable, unrational in their emotional expression, that it drains your emotions. So in those kind of cases, you want to try to be as kind as you can, right? And sidestep those persons. The victims are always there. You can never satisfy somebody who's a victim. You can't even really help somebody who's a victim because their life is after them. As far as they're concerned, everything is out to get them. Everything is miserable. Girl, guess what happened to me? No, I don't want to guess what happened to you. I don't want to hear about it. What I'd like for you to be focused on is how you can be better. Things are not happening to you. Why don't you happen to something? Like bring, a higher expression to your life, I had a girlfriend, every job she took, somebody at that job was out to get her. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Child, I just started sending the calls to voicemail. And then when I would, see her out in public or whatever, it's always very lovely and gracious and always, but never really spending any, long amounts of time with, her energy. Because it's always like, girl, let me tell you what happened to me. And let me tell you what they did. And so-and-so's, I know so-and-so put that out there so I could be late to work. Really? No. Right? So you want to make sure that in 2018, the goals that you have for yourself, the vision that you have for yourself, what you want to manifest and accomplish quarter by quarter 2018, that you have enough energy, you have sustained energy and even, an excess of energy to get done what it is you're trying to get done. Everybody's life have its own traumas and things that we all have to manage in our life. Prayerfully, one doesn't have, circumstances that are cataclysmic on a weekly basis or catastrophic on a weekly basis. So within that, within your focus for going in this new year, you want to really look to see what you can cut out that's draining your energy, what you can cut out in terms of what you're eating that is not giving you a good source of energy, right? After you eat it, you might feel good 5 minutes after you eat it, but several minutes later, you feel like you need to take a nap or you feel dragging, right? That's an energy drain. Cut it out. We can look at and see what is draining us in terms of relationships. Are you the one always calling everybody in your network? Anybody calling and checking on you? Like the kids say, somebody checking for you? Who are you the one that's keeping the relationship going between you and somebody? It's an energy drain. You're free to cut it. If the person wants to maintain a relationship with you, they can call you. They can reach out to you. They could say, hey, let's all of us, get together. I haven't seen you in a long, long time. Let's get together. If you're the one doing all the calling, then you're the one maintaining the relationship. And that can't really be, right? It's not one-sided. It's an energy drain. You're free to cut it. In terms of your work relationship, most of the time we are at work because we need the money and we have to have ways in which to maintain our lifestyles. But there's things at work one can do to minimize the drain from the work environment. Sometimes you just got to get a whole new job, though, to be real. Sometimes, the drain at work is so entrenched and so bearing down on a person that the main thing a person can do is just go ahead and find somewhere else to work, And if that's you, put your wheels in motion, and find a place that is more harmonious to empowering your energy as opposed to draining it. And this is how you know when you need to change jobs. When you wake up in the morning and open your eyes, you thanking God for waking you up, but then you cussing at the same time that you got to go to this place to work. You sucking your teeth, you rolling your eyes, your energy's heavy, your shoulders are slumped over, you kind of just stomping your ass in the door. The place is just... you roll your eyes when you get in there, you're looking at people sideways, it's time for you to go, right? That place, that environment, the work that's being done there is not gratifying to your soul. That's a huge energy drain, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. You can't get nothing done. You could just barely drag yourself into the door and lay up on the couch, right? So my suggestion is in that kind of a situation, they say, I heard one of the great speakers, Les Brown, say, most people in America, they die at 30 when they get their job, but they're not buried till they're 70 when they retire. You want to avoid that like the plague and find work that is fulfilling and uplifting and empowering to you, that you get excited about. Your hormonal juices get to flowing because you are excited about what you do every day. Otherwise, just like the saying says, you are functioning from a dead space or a dying space. You want to move your body and keep your energy high with practices like yoga, qigong, breath work, deep meditation work. Kundalini yoga is an outstanding spiritual and movement practice because within the context of Kundalini yoga, there are practices that you can do to clean your aura, right? All of us have a aura or energetic field around us. And if we don't have a regular practice of cleaning the ethereal or energetic field around us, a film of sticky, gooey, darkening film forms around the person's aura and makes them less magnetic, less attractive, less brilliant, and less resilient. And these are the subtle things that yoga can do for a person, especially a practice like Kundalini yoga. So in terms of keeping your energy high and avoiding the drain, you want to adopt some type of, yogic movement regenerative practice like Qigong or yoga, Kundalini yoga, Hatha yoga. You want to take regular saunas and therapy pool baths, and you want to move your body and all of that. It's all excellent. Regular meditative practice with deep breath and vision focusing on yourself to help not only maintain your energy, but even increase your energy within your mind-body space. Victims and vampires. That's what you want to avoid in 2018. And you want to learn how to recognize the two. And again, like I say, I'm all for having compassion for people because most people don't realize that that's what they're doing. They just have no idea of that, So you want to have compassion, but you want a long lot of distance between you and them. And then you can see your projects. You can see your programs and your desires and your goals manifest because you have enough energy, enough vitality to make them manifest. If you have lined yourself up with a good, nutritious diet, if you have minimized the amount of, negative relationships and encounters in your life, and if you are consistent in, a rejuvenative set of practices, man, you're going to have energy today for days. And not only that, you begin to attract now partners who are affirming as opposed to draining. Part of the reason that we have draining people in our life is that's what we're receiving. Hello. We could stop the receiving line. We could stop being receptive to that kind of energy, those kinds of vibration. And I know for a lot of people always, especially women, we are fixers, right? We want to help. We want to help everybody. So, okay, my girlfriend who keep complaining that everybody at her job is out to get her, I'm really listening to see where I can add some, counsel or benefit to try to help her navigate that. But, that's too much, right? And then a lot of people are codependent. Like you want to, as Mary J. Blige said in one of her songs, I'm addicted to the stress. Addicted to the drama. People want to be outraged. Oh my goodness. This is the thing about social media. People want to be outraged. Like, oh, did you hear so-and-so? Energy drain. Can you do anything about it? No, you cannot. Then don't give it your energy. And now you're trying to, here it is, December 2018, and you ain't got nothing done. You just kind of floated along. But you had all of this great messaging and, ideas put in your spirit that you could have brought forward. But it all requires good, focused, nourished up, rejuvenated, leveled up energy. And so we want to avoid victims and vampires in 2018. I'm counting on y'all. I know you'll be able to do it. I already done got some out of my life. And the sweeping is continuing, right? So that's my message for this particular podcast. As I say, we're back on track. We'll be dropping a recording every week. Also, I want to bring in some of my wonderful healing friends from my network and do interviews with them so that we could share their abundance of knowledge and information around mind, body, energy, healthy living, spiritual practices that will be able to help our listeners round out your life, right? We always want the best for you. I know that 2018 is going to be a fabulous, most explosive in a good way year for each of you listening. I know each of you listening will have your hustle on, your entrepreneurship on, and your alignment on in terms of you being able to receive the messages deposited in your spirit in this coming year so that you can make our world a much better, more balanced, more harmonious place. I know that is what you're going to do, and I receive that for you as well. I am Samut with Mama Yoga's Wellness and Mama Yoga's Coaching Online. You can visit us at mamayogascoachingonline.com and become a member of our site so that you can receive our online courses and training in Kundalini Yoga, very specific mind, body, energy practices, healthy diet and nutrition coaching, and our event schedule as to when we'll have our in-person love-ons, as I like to call them, and stay connected with Mama Yoga in our programming through Mama Yoga's coaching online. Please don't forget, we're on iTunes. Go on iTunes and leave a review. This is how they rate us. Tell us what you think, and also share this podcast with someone that you think it may help. You just never know when a message will help a person to, take better direction in their life. Signing off for now, and I'll chat with you all soon. And thank you so much for listening. Peace and love.